Hi, I'm Ken Ellison of Ellison Machine Shop. Y'all know me. I'm your engine guy. Got something I'd like to say to you today. This is not a training video. This is just me taking a moment to honor somebody that I have the utmost respect for. As many of you know, legendary engine builder here in the area. Total icon when it comes to racing. Bill Coleman of Coleman Brothers Racing has passed away in his 90s. He was out in his shop every single day working in his shop, still running a machine shop. Actually, he's retired a couple of times and he keeps coming back like Michael Jordan, bigger and better than ever. He was recently trying to close his shop up. I actually heard a story from him, from one of his customers who told me when he was over there. He said, a few years ago, he said, I'm 89 years old. I don't want to be doing this when I'm 90. But he was, because he's an engine guy and he couldn't get it out of his system. But I have a unique perspective of something I want to share with you guys. I've never met this gentleman face to face ever, and I still feel compelled to come on here and tell you about his greatness. I have personally been in Glen Burnie since January 2nd, 1989. I got in the machine shop business when I was 15 years old. I owned the business before I turned 18, a couple weeks before I turned 18, and this is all I do. I live, sleep, and bleed engine work, and I'm a part of this business nonstop. And the reason I think that I have a right to come on here and talk about a gentleman that I never met was because in all of my years, even going back as a teenager, I knew of the Coleman Brothers' reputation. Bill and his brother Dave are icons in this area. In Glen Burnie, I've been here since January 2nd, 1989. I have never one time heard anyone say a bad word about the Colemans. That to me is amazing. And the reason I'm coming on here and talking about this is because you people, you guys, all you racers, you know how much we all talk and share stories and so forth. Racers come to my counter and they gossip like old women at bingo. I hear everything going on everywhere, and especially if a guy left the shop that he didn't want to do business with no more, then I really get to download on what had happened and so forth. And not every story I hear is good, and not every story I hear is bad. But I hear a lot of stories, and I hear them about just about everybody. And I'm here to tell you that Mr. Bill Coleman is the only person that I can tell you that's a professional engine builder that I have never one time heard a negative story about. Not a negative word have I ever heard about Mr. Coleman. That blows me away. And I can sit here and tell you with all honesty, I can tell stories about a lot of other shops in the area, good and bad. Not everybody even likes me. I know that for a fact. I know that everybody ain't out telling everyone that I'm the greatest guy in the world. They're wrong, but okay. Mr. Coleman, fantastic individual. And here's a story that I wanted to tell you. Like I said, I've never heard two cross words about him ever. And one of the last times that he retired, after he retired, I got an engine job came in the shop that he gave out my name for the gentleman. And like, I thought, okay, well, he gave out a referral. That was cool. He never met me, just, knows my name. He didn't know me personally. It's not like we ever done work or I ever worked for him. He couldn't give me honestly, he could never have given me a personal endorsement other than just knowing I have a decent reputation. But anyway, within like a day or two, I had 3 engines in my shop from Mr. Coleman. And I right away, I got on the phone and I called a friend of mine, Rob Hamilton was a buddy of mine, gave me Mr. Coleman's number, and I picked up the telephone and I called and I spoke to him and I thanked him for the referral, and we only talked briefly. I mean, he was real kind of, oh, you're welcome, short and to the point, and we had just a pleasant conversation, and I hung up with him. And the only reason I tell you that is because I've known of this gentleman since I was a teenager. And the only interaction that I've personally ever had with him was to pick up the telephone and to thank him. So on top of no one in this business ever saying anything bad about him. I personally I owe him. He's done me a favor, and nice guy. And I'm not telling you that so that I can pick up his business. I'm not trying to scoop in on people that are no longer going to Mr. Coleman. I have too much work as it is. I don't want any of his customers, to be honest. I'm not trying to chase you guys away, but I have more than enough work. I'm overwhelmed with what I got. I'm just on this today just for the pure purpose of saying that this guy, without even knowing me, has done me a big favor. And on top of that, I've heard nothing but good about this gentleman my entire career. I can't say that about any other shop. Not a one. Not one. I've heard good and bad about everybody in the area, and but not Mr. Coleman. Guys were losing people left and right. I had several mentors that are 25, 30 years older than myself. Mr. Coleman, unfortunately, was not one of my mentors. I wish he was. But we've lost them all. There's not a lot of guys in here anymore. It's time for people to get in this business, as you hear me talk all the time. There's room now for serious engine builders, guys who want to learn, guys who want to grow, guys who want to be a Mr. Coleman. And being a Mr. Coleman is something that I would recommend. All of the conversations that I've ever heard anybody talk about him, it wasn't just that he built good engines. It was that he's a great person. He will talk to you. Honest. Everything I heard about him was positive, positive, positive. And like I said, this may seem a little strange because I never met the man face to face, but I've heard so much good about him, I felt compelled to come on here and say, hey, we lost another great one. I guess that's about it, guys. I don't know what else I can add to it, because my time with talking to him and what I know of him was kind of short, honestly. I don't have a lot of experience with the gentleman, but I have a lot of experience with a lot of people who love that guy and thought he was the greatest engine builder around. So, having said that, I'd just like to say, rest in peace, sir. We lost a good one. So anyhow, guys, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to go. Just rest in peace, Mr. Coleman. We'll talk to you soon, brothers. Take care.